because I'm having connection problems. And then when I try to disconnect from the internet to go back and reconnect, it doesn't allow me to connect anymore. So I think there's something maybe going on YouTube's servers or YouTube's way, and it just doesn't like me for whatever reason. So I'm gonna wait a couple minutes and then have people come in again. Sorry about that. I think there's technical difficulties going on with the YouTube. So whenever I for whatever reason it hangs, and then when it hangs, I can't reconnect to stream, and I don't know what's causing it. Maybe there's just something kind of wonky today, but I just hope that, well, I know for sure we're going to be able to get to the stream. So it's not going to be part 3. It's going to be just limited to part 2. And right now there's 5 people watching, 4 people watching. Someone's like, "Damn it, it's the creepy stuff again." But yeah. So anyway, going back to where we left off. What did you last see, Jim? Did you see this? Okay, so we will go back to where we were earlier, and I think my number count is off. Like, that always throws me off. Hold on. One moment. Let's go back and do this. Okay, so where did I left off? Because I know that, okay, so you couldn't see it. Okay, here we go. So this is what I showed last time. And if you look at it, it has this nice detail on it. Oh, come on, come on. Focus, focus. Okay, here we go. So see that? It has this nice detail on it. And then if you look at the images, you can see it's an anchor with a little bird. Do you see the bird? It's like a little penguin or something looking at it. See it? Or a seagull. Look at that. That takes a lot of thought to actually create something like that. Because for me, like, if I made a jewelry piece, I would be like, okay, let's just make an orange piece and that's it. But someone actually etched something in here. An albatross. There you go. An albatross. I don't know how they etch these things. I think they use some sort of pen of sorts. But I think it's pretty cool, and it's pretty unique. Like, the amount of stuff that you would see, or the chance of I would see this in a store would be nil, unless it was an antique store. So let's go back over here, and we got a feather here. I've seen a piece similar to this in an antique store. So it's a feather. You can tell during to the age. Some of the backing came out. This is made by Inch? YNCH? Maybe it's Lynch. But it shows YNCH. You see it? Hold up. Let me open this thing up. There we go. See that? Hello, Kelly. Yeah. YNCH. Maybe I don't know. YNCH. I kind of feel like there was an L there, but I guess not. Yinch is a really strange name to. YNCH is a really strange name to call something. That's like calling something as like Evan, and you would think, wouldn't there be an H there? So yeah, this is this one. Hey, why do any of you guys know why brooches kind of fell out of fashion? I'm just curious, because it seems like a lot of people used to have a whole bunch of brooches and then it just kind of died down. I mean, some people still wear them, but as a whole, I don't really see people wearing this kind of stuff anymore. Oh, Kelly, if you haven't seen it, check out this. It is the anchor with the albatross. See that? It's etched on. So cool. You see it? Like, look at that steady hand. Jeez. If you can't screw up this at all, like if you make a boo-boo, you can't hide that. That would be me. I'd be making a lot of boo-boos. That's why I don't make jewelry. And then we got the key. Wait a second. Was this the key in here? Oh, the key was inside. Oh. Wait. There we go. The key was inside. Okay, so now we have the key, and the key was inside here, so I don't have to use a screwdriver. Oh, you know my grandma used to have one of these before. These little guardian angel ones. I believe it was like basically the same exact one, except I think hers was white. So it's so nostalgic to see something like this. Did you guys have grow up and did you guys see this stuff throughout the years? This little guardian angel pin. It's so cute. So cool. And then, yeah, I think that guardian angel was really popular, you know. Okay, and then we got another thingy. Like, do you see the size of these things? Like, look at this one. It's a tiny one. Oh, look how tiny that is. It's a little tiny one over here. I guess, I don't know what this is supposed to be. It kind of reminds me of like two red eyeballs looking at you. Do you see that? It kind of looks... You know what it kind of reminds me of? I don't know if this is supposed to be a leaf, but it kind of looks like it's a bug looking at me. Do you guys see it too? Okay, it's from New Zealand, but it kind of looks like... it's like, speak ill of me and I'm gonna haunt you. Do you guys know exactly what this is? See, it kind of looks like a little creature looking at me. See, you can see his little mouth, and you got his two eyeballs, and then it looks like he's hugging himself of sorts. I don't know. And then we got, let's see here. Oh, we got Cupid. I think my grandma had one of these too, you know. This little Cupid over here. See it? It's Cupid. So you got Cupid and you got your little angel. I'm pretty damn sure my grandma had both of these. This was back in the 90s too. Maybe these were really popular. These two were really popular back in the 90s. And then here's a ring, a key ring of sorts. And then we got Surfer's Paradise. To some place, but I like to think it was Hawaii. Because look at that, we got a little pine tree over there. See that? Or it could also be Florida. But maybe it's Hawaii. Surfer's Paradise. Or maybe it's Australia? Who knows? I know it's not Scotland. And I doubt it's New Zealand. And then here is... Oh, it is Queensland, Australia. Really? Australia? I gotta travel more. I really have to travel. And then here is, I think this goes with this. Yeah, this goes with this. So this is a... Oh, I should have done this stream at Lewis's workstation. Yeah, that would have been something, actually. It would have been much higher quality now that I think about it. I brought this home. I brought this home because I was thinking, oh, I want to make sure it arrives here safely. So I put it inside of my bag. And it got here all in one piece. And I was really, really happy about it. In a world where clothing is highly... Brooches is really the only way to tastefully customize clothing enough. Yeah, that's a good point, Sal. Back in the day, people probably around this time, or people who wore this kind of stuff, they didn't wear ripped jeans. They didn't wear short shorts. I mean, I can't imagine wearing something like this with short shorts. Can you imagine that? And I think it's a really good way to have like a good base, and then you wear something like this, and it just looks a little bit more classy. I don't know about this guy though. I don't know. What would this? It's kind of like, look at that. It looks like. Can you imagine if you put these two together? It looks like it's gonna. You look at this the wrong way, and you're gonna get cast into stone or something. I mean, these. There's something about these eyes. It just kind of. It looks right into my soul, you guys. Just looks right into my soul. Don't put the key back in the box. Oh, good one. Good one. Yeah, where'd the key go? Key. Okay, I got the key. Don't worry. Oh no! Someone fell. Here we go. So we got this. And I actually want to put this all back into another box of sorts. Or maybe I'll put it back into the original box and do it very nice and organized, and so that way this stuff can actually be seen rather than being all in little baggies. But I remember, for shipping purposes, definitely a smart thing to have everything in baggies. Because if you don't have them in baggies, there's a chance that things could just like kind of scratch things up really, really easily. So it's good to kind of have some of this stuff out. Let's see here. Oh, the tape measure on my keyring. You know what? I mean, that keyring is so nice. I don't want to actually put it on my keys. I carry one with me, and for something like that, I rather just keep it in the house, rather than take it out, because it's one of those things. Like, I kind of think if it does disappear or something, it would just be like, I wouldn't even know where to get another one. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, the stuff that leaves the house, whatever I'm consciously aware of this, you guys. Whatever I leave the house with, there's always a chance that I could possibly lose it, or I can get it taken from me, especially in New York. By the way, so I was walking around, and I went to check up on the community fridge because I haven't been there in quite some time. And while I'm going over to the community fridge, I kid you not, I think it was the same woman who asked me this last time when I was like a block away from the community fridge. She said, she said, hi, I could, she said something like she could use my help. Her grandchild could use some baby milk or baby formula. And I'm thinking to myself, oh no, I'm pretty sure this is the same woman that asked me that last time. And if you guys think I'm being really cold-hearted, there's a reason why I'm mentioning this. So in New York, if people want money, they will ask me for $1. But if people want me to buy something, it's usually two things. It's either A, a credit card, like a Visa prepaid credit card, or B, it is infant formula, baby milk. So this woman was asking me, I could use some baby milk or infant formula for my grandchild. And I told her, I said, sorry, I don't have any money on me. I don't have any cash on me. And she says, I don't need your money. I need infant formula. And it was just kind of like, oh. It's like, I don't want to say anything about that, but it's very strange that I get asked for infant formula, which I know is really easy to resell online. Infant formula, I think, goes for like $30 a tub. So it's just strange that it's the same woman who asked me like 4 months ago. I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago. She asked me around, I think it was about 3 p.m. Like 1 block away from where she asked me today, the same thing. She wanted infant formula. So Yeah, I gotta read up on WIC, and I gotta read up on that and find out what they say about that kind of thing, because I think for infant formula it should be covered under WIC. I don't imagine babies are really, the supplemental kind of thing would just say like, yeah, we're not gonna cover baby formula. But maybe I'll do more research on that and see how that is. It's just kind of strange that I'm always asked for either baby formula or, if you're brazen, prepaid credit cards. I mean, prepaid gift cards. You remember that one woman in Manhattan? She said that she was she was a domestic abuse survivor, and she was pregnant, and she left someone, and the shelter couldn't take her for that one night, but her friend who was Korean, yeah, she told me that. My friend who is Korean is willing to take me in for tonight, but she wants $25. And I said, sorry, I don't have any cash on me. And she told me, she said, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. You can go to the CVS across the street and buy a Visa prepaid gift card. And I was like, wow, coincidentally, she's right in front, right across the street from a CVS, and she can point me to the CVS to buy a $25 gift card. And I wanted to question her on her, because I was thinking to myself, if you have a friend and your friend knows that you came out from this terrible situation and you only needed one night to get off the streets, what friend would say, yeah, I want $25 before I pay you, and $25 before I house you, and I don't care if you're pregnant or not, I want that $25 cash or that Visa gift card. It just kind of stinks. So you have people who try to pull these kind of scams on you, and try to get money from you. And for me, I always think to myself that you just got to think things through, uh, thoroughly, because in New York there were just so many people who will try to hustle you for money. There was a broken bottle alcohol scam. You guys remember that? I was diving. I had about 52 big bags of gummy bears on me. I had boxes of stuff because I just came back from dumpster diving. I come off the subway. I'm going up the stairs, going really slowly because I'm carrying about 30 pounds of stuff on me, over 30 pounds of stuff on me. And this guy holds this bag of alcohol in a plastic bag on the tip of his fingers, and I distinctively remember that because I thought it was super strange. And then, unsurprisingly, it falls off his finger. He blames me for it. He demands that I buy him $35 of alcohol, which is conveniently located at the bodega right on top of the subway. And he can't tell me what alcohol it is. So sometimes I think if you want to catch these people, you should question them. You should ask them, okay, so you say I broke your alcohol, what alcohol it is. And I think it would be hard for them to justify it, because if they give you like two names of like cheap alcohol, like really cheap alcohol, then you're going to know like, hey, this and this is not going to be $35. But anyway, just use some common sense when it comes to that kind of stuff, especially if you're in New York. There are so many scammers. There are so many people who try to hustle you for money. And I don't see any of this stuff in Hawaii except a select few individuals that really stick out like a sore thumb, because everybody seems to know these particular scammers in Hawaii. And I think I'll save that for another stream. So, yeah, let's see. You usually ask for a torta, which costs about 20, which is $1. Yeah, thank you, Jim. So because Jim had sent in and gifted it to me, I'm able to show you guys this, and I really wanted to share it with you guys because, some of this stuff that you see from generation to generation, there's not too many eyes on it. Like, especially with stuff from, let's say, my grandma gave to my mom. She had like a whole bunch of jewelry, my grandma. And I don't know what happened to her jewelry pieces. I think one piece went to my mom, but I think the rest of the pieces went to my mom's brothers. I think, because we don't have it for sure. So being able to show you guys this stuff, I really like showing it to you guys because I want you guys to see, the workmanship behind this stuff, but also understand, there's someone who spent years of their life curating this stuff, collecting this stuff, taking care of this stuff. And You know, with time, of course, you have things like beads coming off or string breaking. You guys saw like there's a few pearl necklaces that the string broke, and that's just because if this stuff is like, you know, over 10 years old or 20 years old, eventually things degrade, right? Everything degrades. So I like showing you guys this little piece of history, but you guys, I do want you guys to be aware that Jim sent this all the way from Australia. So this had to go through, I guess, on a boat or an airplane, and I'm happy that it made it all here in one piece, and definitely in better condition than maybe the USPS would have sent it. Some packages that get sent from USPS, like it looks like it went through hell. Let's put it that way. So it's amazing, and I'm really grateful how the box was still intact. It wasn't like a car ran over it or anything like that. But just wanted to share that about the USPS. If you guys are not familiar with the USPS, sometimes you will have packages that get severely damaged. It gets trapped into some kind of chute or some kind of like sorting thing, or it gets stuck, and then it can get smashed to smithereens. Oh, hi, Joseph. So Joseph is probably going to fast forward this stuff. So this is a wooden necklace. You know, I don't really see that many wooden necklaces anymore, but I imagine with how things are, eventually, you know, this kind of stuff definitely comes back full circle. You know, fashion is kind of interesting to me because it's like well, actually, like people right now would love to have this kind of necklace, but fashion is like things go into cycle, right? So some of the things people would say, oh, it's so outdated, it's so old fashioned, blah blah blah. But then when they actually look back at things, it's like, hey, that's really cool. You know, that's really cool to have that stuff. Kipling bags kind of remind me of that. I remember when I was in like early 2000s, I thought to myself, oh, Kipling bags are pretty hip. And then around like 2012ish, I was like, oh, this bag is so outdated. I don't want this bag anymore. And now I see people with Kipling Kipling backpacks, the same bag that I had back in like the early 2000s. I thought to myself, man, I wish I kept my Kipling bag, because now I kind of like that Kipling bag again. Ugh. Yeah, when you see these kind of pieces, like you can tell there was a lot of time and care and dedication on this stuff. Like this kind of stuff, you can't buy this all at one store. You know, so imagine all the different places they had to go to. They see a piece and then they acquire it, and that's just one small piece. So you can kind of gauge how a person's life is in a sense if you look at their jewelry pieces. You know, it's a great thing to see things from different eras, because you're able to say like, oh, okay, so maybe there was a phase where everybody liked pearls, and then from there you go on to like different pieces, and somewhere that creepy one was there. I don't know what age that was. I don't know where the age of the possible vulture claw was, but yeah, there was something like this that whoever bought it, it marked a period of their life. They said, I need to have that. So yeah, I think like I said, I think the really good thing about these things is you can have like a plain piece of like a plain dress shirt or a plain jacket or a plain dress, and if you add something like this to it, or like this, for example, right, it becomes like it makes it look a little bit more unique. You know, it doesn't look so blank canvas like. And a lot of these pieces, like I said, they have a history behind them, they have a story behind them, they have memories behind them, and there's also possible connections behind them. Some people, for example, right, people have engagement rings or wedding rings. Whenever they look at their wedding ring or their engagement ring, they always remember that someone gave it to them, right? So like some of these pieces, I'm sure there's stories behind it that we're not aware of, like Jim may not be aware of. Like, did they, like for instance, right, did they get this when they were visiting Scotland and then they saw it at a little gift shop or something? You know, it's like little mementos of life, and it all fits in a jewelry box. So that's the really great thing about having little small pieces. You can have little tiny things that don't take up a huge amount of space, And it's when you look at it back in your life, you're like, oh, I remember where I got this, and I remember I got this, and I remember where I got this, and I remember where I got this, and I remember where I got this. I don't, I wouldn't know where you would get something like this, but you get what I'm saying. So that's the beautiful thing about little hand-me-down things. And whenever I look at a person's jewelry box online, and you can see their collection, you can, like I said, they spend so much time curating that stuff. Even people who buy this stuff on Etsy, right? It takes time to find this stuff. I wouldn't even know where to find this. Like, would I go on Etsy and say, I want to look for this is not a chicken foot, but I want to look for a chicken foot on Etsy. Like, you would not find me looking at this, but I guarantee you later tonight, I'm going to be lying in bed thinking about this foot. So thank Jim for that. If any of you guys remember this foot, Jim is the reason why you're remembering this foot. So we're all going to remember this little chicken foot on there. And if I do like a stream or an AMA on Lewis's channel, people are like, why does she have a foot on her shirt? Like, why is there a foot? it'll be a lucky foot. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Look at that. It has like a little claw there. Did you see that? It kind of reminds me of a rooster. You know, the rooster, they got that little thingy over there. The foot. It's the foot that will be a conversation a starter, and it's the foot that people who see this on stream, or people who will see this on stream at a later date, will think about. And I'm curious to know if people are going to go on Etsy or Mercari and type in, you know, taxidermied vulture chicken foot brooch, and want to get one of them, want to get one for themselves. Oh my goodness, look at this. I did not realize that. This is actually, I think, a deer, right? Or antlers. Some kind of buck or something like that. Well, what's it called? It? Not a moose. Was it a deer? See, I'm not very good with this stuff. But yeah, it's, I think it's a deer, a buck, one of those things. I thought it was just a decoration, but you can actually see it's an animal. So you got two animals here. Pretty cool. See, it's those things like the fine little details that really add up. And maybe that's why whoever got this got it. It's like they saw it in a store, and they went home, and then they thought about it, and they said, man, that freaking foot, like that foot with the buck on it. Yeah. You know, if they don't see the video, you know what they're gonna think? They're gonna say, man, some person named Jim sent Erica a severed foot? What the? No, it's a little bird's little talon or something like that. It's a bird's claw. Kind of like a chicken foot, but it has some fur on it. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. I really wonder how old this stuff is, but yeah, yeah, it's definitely one of those pieces I will not forget about. And as creepy as it is, I'm gonna be honest with you, I find it kind of charming and endearing the more I look at it. So now it's like I'm gonna just be thinking about this foot. 100% this foot is not leaving this apartment. I will not lose this foot for sure. Yeah, can you imagine if you watch my stream without context? I will not lose this foot. It's a magic artifact. Oh, I gotta charge Cleo. So yeah, that is that. And I really think these pieces, it was just really wonderful to unbox this for you guys. And you guys got to see how this is along with me. I never took a glimpse at it before I unboxed it for you guys. So you guys basically saw this in real time, except the foot. That one, yeah, I saw it. I was like, and when I saw it, I realized, like, what is that? Like a worm or something? And then I finally saw it, and it kind of grows on you. It really grows on you. So if you guys want your own foot, taxidermied foot, sorry for anybody who's not watching the video. I'm sure there's going to be people who are just going to play this randomly while they're doing things around the house and be like, what the hell is she talking about? Some freaking foot. This is what you would look at. I think it's called Mitzpah, Mizpah. I don't know where you would find this. Miz. That looks like Mizpah, right? And whoever made it, yeah, if anyone decides to buy a foot of their own, it's so weird for me to say that. If anyone wants to buy a foot of their own, let me know in the comments section, or let me know if you can't stop thinking about this foot, because I'm gonna think about this foot, whenever I think about brooches, I'm gonna be like, man, these brooches are all metal and everything, but I just want to tell you, there is a person out there who wanted to taxidermy a foot, a foot. And yeah, look at that. It's a foot. I gotta get another jewelry box. I want to actually get a jewelry box that I can hold basically everything and display it, because I think this jewelry box is a little too small. And I have this whole stance where if you have pieces, you really should show it off, at least not show it off, but really be able to see everything, so it's not all squirreled away in bags. Because if you have things like this, you're not going to really remember what you have, versus if you have it kind of laid out, you get to see exactly what is there. And then yeah, so as I mentioned before, I will not wear most of these pieces out for sure. I don't want to risk it getting possibly taken from me or losing it. I wore one of these pieces. Let me see. I wore one of these pieces out quite recently. And which one was it? Let me find it. It was... piece was it? I know what piece it is, but I can't find the bag for it because it's all in these little bags. Oh, here it is. So this is the piece that I wore out recently, and it was underneath the shirt. I'm not kidding you guys. When I wore it outside, it was so freaking cold that I was like, geez, I forgot how cold metal is, because I normally don't wear necklaces at all. I don't wear jewelry on me, right? So I put it inside of my jacket, underneath my down jacket. I had it zipped up. So then this went up to room temperature, right? I kid you not, 2 times while I was outside, I kept grabbing my necklace because I was like, oh crap, did I lose it? Like, oh crap, I hope I didn't lose it. So that's the thing about me and jewelry. For pieces, I just get so phobic about losing them, because like something like this, I know I would not be able to replace it. I wouldn't even know what to call it. It's not like one of the generic, I don't have any generic jewelry here, but like that guardian angel pin, like something like that you could find quite easily. Or like that Cupid pin. I'm sure I could find something like that on Etsy, because it's identifiable in that regard. But like this, like what would I name this as? It would just be silver floral pendant, and then I'd go through thousands and thousands of pendants hoping to find the right exact one. It's just too much risk. So these kind of pieces, I would like to keep them indoors and then show them, or if I do wear them out, it would just be at a very confined area. Like if I know I'm going to be inside of one room only and not just like walking around. Yeah. So that's my stance on jewelry pieces. I try to protect the pieces. I don't want them to get lost. I definitely don't want them to get stolen. And I want to make sure that if I leave the apartment with a piece, that I'm coming home with the piece as well. And it's just because the thought of like possibly it getting stolen or lost on the sidewalk, like, oh my gosh, it just, that would not be a good feeling. Blue penguin foot. Uh, uh, so yeah, I think this is a really a really pretty piece. It was it says it's a silver jubilee. It says silver jubilee 1977. So this is 11 years older than me. And that's the thing about these kind of pieces. Like if you have something that is like well made and it doesn't rust, or even if you just take care of it, these jewelry pieces can last for many, 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 many years. I mean, this piece is like 40, what is this, like 43 years old, right? Yeah, it's about 43 years old. So it being 43 years old and just having this little like dirt spot over here, which I'm sure I could easily wipe off, yeah, that is really amazing. So much jewelry that I see nowadays, at least like the cheap kind, like the plated stuff. Yeah, it just like if you have like plated gold, you buy it from like one of those mass retailers. You know what I'm talking about, like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, that kind of stuff. Like it's not gonna last you very long, or if it just kind of like it doesn't have that kind of depth that old pieces have. So that's why when I see these kind of pieces, I really, really I really admire it, and I really respect, all the little details on here, and I'm very appreciative that this little piece is in my life, because now whenever I look at it, I'm like, dang, this is really special, and this is something that I really want to protect and make sure that it's taken care of for many, many years to come. So if any of you guys are thinking about getting jewelry pieces, I highly recommend buying them pre-loved, not pre-owned, but pre-loved. That means these pieces were picked up from other people, then for whatever reason they decided to let go of them, they want to get a new home for it, and yeah, you can help the environment that way, and you can also have a piece that is a higher quality than a lot of the pieces that we see in this day and age. Jewelry pieces now, when I look at them, it doesn't have that, it doesn't kind of, when I look at this stuff, like, I think it's nice, but it doesn't prompt me to think like, wow, I'm gonna remember that piece. Like that, like this thing, yeah, no buyer of a major retailer is gonna want to carry this thing. They'll be like, who the hell would buy this, outside of Halloween? But it leaves a really lasting impression on you. Like, yeah, like look at that. Definitely a lasting impression. Whoever made this definitely was very creative. And Jim, I know you're driving right now, but we're talking about the foot yet again. um, so yeah, it's just amazing. It's really amazing to see these kind of like one of a kind pieces. And I'm pretty sure that this is on Etsy somewhere, if you guys want to buy it. Pretty sure, or just wait, maybe Etsy, eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, Depop, DEPOP.com. Yeah, maybe, I don't know if Yahoo, they still have auctions. I know they have Yahoo Japan, but I don't know about Yahoo Auctions USA. I don't think they have that anymore. Wear it and wait for Lewis. Oh my goodness, he is not going to be happy seeing this claw. He'd be like, Erica, a bird is missing its claw because of this thing. I'm like, no, the bird's claw was preserved like Tutankhamun or something like that. The bird's claw was preserved, so that way it probably has the most famous foot of a lot of birds. Like, how many birds will be like, okay, my left foot. Actually, I think this is the right foot, right? Yeah, my right foot has people talking about it or thinking about it. How many years later? Oh, and I think I forgot to show you guys this, but this is, yeah, I was actually just holding it in my hands. So this is a Strand of Pearls, and it's really pretty. Isn't it pretty? Ooh. It's I didn't even realize I had it in my hand because I was like talking to you guys on stream, and I was like, oh, it's so nice and warm, and I'm just heating it up. And yeah, this is, one thing about pearls that I like is that I feel like they can last forever as long as you take care of them and as long as you restring them. So this is like a really good piece that you can pass down multi-generationals. And I think there's something that's very classic about this kind of stuff. And I know that going into animal rights, there's going to be people who say, well, Erica, don't you think about the oysters and things like that? Oysters are filter feeders, so they help clean up the ocean. So in my belief, I think eating shellfish like clams, oysters, something that can be farmed to be sustainable or, well managed, well regulated, I have no problem with this kind of stuff. I think it definitely is more environmentally friendly to buy a pearl than, let's say, a mined gemstone, you know, for mining like a diamond, like an actual diamond, not a lab created diamond, it's very intensive on the resources. So I prefer pearls over gemstones, but I have this stance where I don't believe in buying new gemstones. I don't believe in buying new pearls because there's just so many, you know, necklaces out there that are waiting for new homes, and I think the quality of stuff is higher than some of the stuff now. And the reason why I'm saying that is like some of the stuff that I see now, it's like I don't know. I'm not too big of a fan of some of the pieces that I see. It's like really expensive, and then I'm just thinking like if you can't see it online and you're spending hundreds of dollars on a piece, yeah, probably better off buying it pre-owned and see if you like it that way. But so many people they don't wear pearl jewelry anymore. There's a bunch of people who have relatives, right? Aging relatives that they have boxes of jewelry, and it would just sit there, and then when it comes down to pass it down, like maybe people don't want it. They'd be like, I don't wear pearls, let's just sell it. So it's better to buy them pre-loved and then give those pearls a new home rather than buy a new. That's my stance. And then the cost of pre-owned pearls tends to be cheaper than the stuff that you find in the jewelry store. The stuff in the jewelry store, like I'm sure it's nice and shiny and things like that, but for me, I don't wear jewelry that often. So buying a piece that's, let's say, $600 or $1,000, and I know myself very well, I might only wear it, you know, 10 times and 10, 20 times in 10 years. It's not really worth it. I for sure I will not be wearing pearls outside of this apartment. 100% sure. That would basically be sending to people like, please rob me. So these are pieces that I would like most likely, you know, keep indoors. You guys saw, like, I had a pearl necklace that I purchased, I think on Mercari for 23 bucks. I was kind of surprised. I was like, ooh, this is a nice set. But I don't feel comfortable walking on the street like that. It just kind of scares me, and I don't want to be a target in any way for a piece of jewelry. Yeah, you know what else is pretty bad for the environment? Not kidding you guys. Kitty litter. So kitty litter is something that doesn't biodegrade. You know, like the cats, they have like Dr. Elsie's Ultra Kitty litter. It's like clay kitty litter. It's not, that thing will never ever biodegrade. And I just think to myself, like, crap, that means Oriole's poop and his kitty litter is gonna outlive me. Like that, it's just not gonna go back into the ground. So what I was reading is that they say, you know, go for more sustainable options for kitty litter. It's kind of tough, you know. It's kind of tough because it's like I could buy coconut kitty litter, but I don't know how the cats will like it. I've heard mixed things about that. I've heard about pine pellets, and I've heard mixed things about that, and it's been kind of on my mind, but I don't know. It's just hard for me to say no to the Dr. Elsie's kitty litter because it just kind of clumps up really beautifully. It adds up on resources though, right? It's like a 40-pound bag of kitty litter. It takes them a while to get through it, but still, it is kind of heavy on stuff. Yeah. So, also, oh, heads up, you guys. If you guys have cats, I just want to let you guys know that greenies, they seem to kind of be selling out on Amazon. I don't know if it's just the variety that the cats eat, but I was looking for the catnip kitty litter. I mean, the catnip kitty litter, the catnip greenies for the cats, because that one doesn't seem to give Oreo issues. And yeah, I was surprised. Like, it's sold out. You know, the container of catnip greenies. So if anybody is running low on greenies, I highly, highly recommend just get them from your local store. Just keep a lookout for the greenies or buy other greenies. I think one of the reasons why greenies is kind of selling out for certain varieties is because it's holiday season. So people, when they have cats, they will say, what flavor of greenie should I get this cat? Let me get it catnip greenies. So just wanted to give you a heads up, holiday season. If you guys plan on getting any cat items, think about buying it now versus later, because as we get closer to Christmas, if it's anything like the greenies, there might be people who are just buying this stuff up. Yeah, probably for people. Yeah, I think. Yeah, people who are buying these greenies for Christmas. I did not know this, but our food delivery, Amazon Fresh, actually has greenies listed as it. Yeah, isn't that funny? So I could buy greenies and then I could get our eggs at the same time. And I think greenies is really a great present for any cat owner. Like if you guys know anybody who has, I don't know about dogs and greenies. I can just talk about personal experience with cats and greenies. But if you guys have any person, if you know guys, if you all know any person with cats, and you guys want to do holiday shopping kind of early, just make it simple and just buy them like a box of greenies, a container of greenies, wrap it up. That the shelf life on that stuff is pretty long. It's a nice square box. They have, I think it's like a like it's like this tall. It comes in a nice packaging, and it's this video is obviously not sponsored by Greenies. I'm just telling you that I think Greenies is a really good present to get for a cat. If you guys know any person with a cat or dog treats, get them dog treats. It's a lot better than getting them a toy. That's just my thinking. At least the cats can consume it. I don't know how many cat owners would take it if you said, "Oh, I'm gonna give your cat the gift of butt wipes this year." uh, let's see, 20-foot container or 40-foot container. I don't know. Like the cats aren't supposed to be eating that many greenies, so. But I think the box of greenies, I think it's like $7 for a box of 11 ounces. You're not supposed to give them all at one sitting, by the way. It depends how many greenies you give them. Oh, you talk about like the Nestle water thing where they say, I think it was Nestle. They said something like water is not a free commodity. It's something that could be privatized or sold or something like that, if I remember correctly. I think it was Nestle, but I might be remembering it wrong. But yeah, I think it's sad because from what my understanding about the water bottling stuff is that cities allow companies to come in, let's say Nestle, and then pump out thousands of gallons out from their springs. So some of these areas, right, their natural springs or their waterways get significantly lower because it's just like they're pumping out all that fresh water from there. And the state or the city is making like pennies, right? So these companies are making out like bandits because they're only paying the city like a very 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 small amount of for pumping out this water, and the company is charging dollars for the stuff that they're paying pennies for. It's really yeah, it's really something. So I think that's terrible. I don't buy bottled water except for emergency use. Other than that, we always just use reusable. We use water bottles and then we just use tap water. I do believe that if you want to use it, definitely get water filtration. But don't waste your time with bottled water. Unless you absolutely have to. There are some states that I heard. Was it Las Vegas? They say you shouldn't drink the bottle. You shouldn't drink the tap water over there. It might be Las Vegas, but I might be remembering it wrong. So, I think that is terrible. I think that, but the companies, they have to make money somehow. Water is really one of those things they can make a quick buck off of this stuff. They can make a quick buck. It's a high profit margin. Everybody needs to drink water. If you do not drink water, you die. Simple as that. So that's why they kind of push this kind of thing. So if you have to buy a bottle of water, I would say buy a bigger amount of bottle of water. Don't just buy like the tiny amount. Don't buy just like the 12-ounce bottles or the 11-ounce bottles. I don't know what the size is specifically, but like the ones that you normally see like this big. Just get get something like this, and then just throw it in your dishwasher, and then wash it that way. Bottled water is really expensive. And some people, they think that bottled water is more hygienic than tap water. No. Tap water, you have to have all these standards and there's regular testing of the water. Versus bottled water. Oh, hello there. An influencer has come over here. Come here, handsome. Come here. Come here. Do you see him? Guess that cat. Oh, hello there, handsome. Oh, the stream was waiting for you, Oreo. What took you so long? You had to take a long nap, didn't you? Ah, come here. Come here, handsome. Come on. The life of this cat. He wakes up, he eats, he walks around a bit, and then he goes back to sleep. He is a very low stress lifestyle. The only stressor he has is when he wants food at all periods of the night. So he will cry for me for more food. But he's the only cat that will ask me for food. It wouldn't be the other two cats. It's just the tubbiest cat wants more food. And I need to keep this cat on a diet or his same amount of food. And I don't want him to swell up. Because next thing you know, he's going to be heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. And he already has some pictures where he looks like he got some love rolls on him. And I just want to make sure that the love rolls don't increase on this cat. Had to recuperate from the heavy strain of it. Yes, yes. You understand how stressful Oreo's life is. Being a cat of his size and having certain habits. Oh, my little baby. Oreo demands more food. Yes, he always does demand more food. That is his job. Besides being a professional cuddler, he always asks for food. And when he doesn't get the food, he cries for food. I've gotten very used to him crying around midnight to 3 a.m. for more food. But weirdly enough, once we go to the bed, he stops crying for food because he just goes to sleep. Yeah, I think it's smart to keep some bottled water on hand. I wouldn't keep a case really. I would just keep the gallon size containers. But even the gallon size containers, if you guys you guys know that I keep the water inside of a Sterilite container so that way if one leaks, it doesn't go all the way directly into the floor. I was reading it online. They say it's not uncommon for bottled water to leak. And it's because like the plastic is kind of biodegradable in a sense, or they make them really thin, and then over time it just gets weak points, and then it has all that heavy water inside. It just springs a leak. So if it springs a leak, because we have about 10 gallons of water here, I don't want the water going straight down to the downstairs neighbor, right? So that's why I have a Sterilite container under in them. So anyway, I need to put this stuff away, and I will talk to you guys later. But I do want to give you a little hint of what you guys can see in a future stream. I picked this up online. Someone was giving it away, and I said, "Hey, you know what? I will take it." And after I take a few videos or pictures of Oreo in it, you guys can see it. Look at that. Look at that. It's a little hat and it's a little scarf. So I put Oreo wearing this and he was super cute. He is the only cat that will allow me to put costumes on him. If you guys have a cat and you guys want to put him in a costume, I recommend making sure you have something like this. You see the Velcro strap, so that way it can go on their underneath their chin. And yeah, he's just so adorable. Super adorable. So when I get closer to Christmas, you guys get to see Oreo with his little newsboy cap and his little, oh my goodness. I was like, Oreo, you're so handsome. You're more handsome than ever. So I like putting him in costumes. I don't keep him in costumes for a very long time, only for a couple minutes. But he is a ladies' man in this costume. 0% of me putting Blackberry Clinton inside of a costume. That's Clinton. Hell no. I can't even put a hat on that cat. He does not want any clothing on him, but Oreo has the patience of a... Oreo's very patient and loving, so I know he does not mind me putting a little costume on him. I used to put him on a bunny hat. Maybe if I can find that picture, I'll upload it in my community page, but I had it on the kitty wish list before. Whoops! I had it on the kitty wish list, and some people had purchased the bunny hats for Oreo, and it's this like Japanese cat hat thing. It was super cute. Okay, hold up a second, because I'm just talking about this, and I can actually show you guys how this thing looks like. Oreo, are you ready to wear your bunny hat? He hasn't had a bunny hat on for a while. What is this? Okay. Let's see here. There's something that's degrading in here. Okay, so here is... Actually, I got a better idea. I'm gonna move this over here, and you guys get to see what I'm talking about. So this is where I was seated. You can see where my butt was. And this is Oreo. Okay, Oreo. And this is him in his bunny hat. You see him? Hold on, let me grab the camera out. Oreo! Look at him. He's like, damn it, it's me in this bunny hat again. So this bunny hat, I don't know, there was something, I think one of his cat toys. Look at that Oreo. Oreo, come over here. So that is Oreo in his little bunny hat. I think he looks super cute in it. But of course he feels like not very masculine in his bunny hat. I think it's kind of cute. Him with that costume and Oreo and cookies. Oh, that would be so cute. I know. Get me, He's like, don't demasculate him. I'm like, don't worry, Oreo. Only 15 people are watching you. It's not that many people. Look at that guy. So Oreo does wear his bunny ears. And he is a cutie. Although he does not like being seen in his bunny hat very often. Because when he is seen in his bunny hat, 100%, he's probably like, dang it, the internet knows that I wear a pink bunny hat. And you guys get to see my mismatching clothes. This is part of like the no-see-um stuff. Okay, come on, Oreo. This is like some of the no-see-um clothes that you have to wear, where I'm trying to pair my long sleeves with my LuLaRoe stuff, and I don't even have like that much long sleeve, so I end up with these like weird combinations sometimes. Oh, melt glass costume. Yeah, he is a cutie. He's a little cutie. So if you guys are curious about this, let me see if I still have the box for one of them. Oh, here we go. So if you guys are curious about this is on Amazon. It is a Japanese like cat hat thingy-majingy. So Oreo has the pink one and he has the blue one, but he didn't get the other ones because they're all random colors, right? I think he's super cute. By the way, he's crying for more food right now. Notice the fat cat is asking me for the most food. So anyway, I'm gonna end the stream. I need to put this stuff away, and I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I was all the stuff that I showed you. And maybe it encouraged you to think about getting some pre-loved jewelry in the future instead of buying it new. A lot of pre-loved stuff, they have history behind them, they have craftsmanship behind them, and they have, it's a way to remember or remember, times of, like, if you acquire it from somewhere, or if you bought it, let's say as a souvenir or something, it's a way to remember like a specific time of your own life. If you, let's say you pick it up from an antique store or thrift store or something like that, or in this case, right, Jim sent it over to me, and I will always remember that this stuff has a lot of history, a lot of meaning behind it. And there's a cat over there, and a lot of history, a lot of meaning. And I will make sure that this stuff is taken care of. And I want to restring some of the pearls because I know you can. I know it's possible to restring pearls. I don't really want to bring it to professional. I kind of want to try and do it myself, but we'll see how this is. So you guys take care. You guys have a good night and stay safe, stay warm, and don't let your kitty go into the greenies box, which I think Oreo is trying to break into right now. So see ya.